All right, so Angelina is saying some things here. So let's see if I agree with her because I saw some comments and I wasn't quite sure. Like I said, I'm in and out today, so bear with me as the videos come. Let's see into it.
It's like every time I even come to their house, I feel some sort of weird tension, and it, you know, Amber is just done with Anthony, I guess. Or at least she's pretending like she is.
Well, I don't know about pretending. You know, my question is simply this. If you knew, if you could just be a fly on the wall, you would just probably be flabbergasted at the things that you hear married people say. You hear stuff between your father and and I really wish you didn't hear that. But
All right, so before we get into that, see, it's like Shayla gets now to basically walk off into the sunset. Like I say, that's kind of what has happened, Whether I want to accept it or not, Shayla has been able to ride off into the sunset. And, she had the kid, she had the whatever else it is. And basically, hey, I don't know. She wins. She wins. Like the Amber character basically has laid it out because, of course, she's still keeping friendship with the Shayla character. That's just what's going on, friends. Like, whether I want to accept it or not, that is what is taking place. People don't accept this, but this is what's taking place at the end of the day. That's what's taking place. That's the only thing that O'Neill is just not happy about. That's the only thing that I'm not happy about it at all. I'll say that. I'm not happy.
speaking of that, I think you were right. I listened to what you said. You said you didn't want to be a part of their divorce.
I don't.
And this is true. But the question is,
Kai in it either.
and that's exactly the point. You have to decide what actionable items you are going to put into place in order to keep you and Kai out of that.
Okay, so
So do you see what has occurred here? Do you realize what they have done? They've done a number on this marriage, right? Remember, Angelina was there with the planning of the tearing down of the marriage as much as she possibly could. They've done a number on the marriage. And now what I'm doing is say, okay, we've done all the job we need to do. Now let's let it collapse on its own. That is what I'm talking about. For Amber to be okay with people doing this to her, that's what I kind of flack her for. Anthony's an idiot. End of the week, Anthony's an idiot. I'm going to call him an idiot because he's a stooge for going over to these people and trying to see if he can, whatever it is. He's a stooge. Because he really needed to be on his own and do things on his own terms. He don't really move like a man that wants to do things on his own terms. Whether or not you want to keep the peace between you and your baby mother, that's fine. You can keep the peace and not do the body in between. I'm going to have a glass of wine with baby mother so that she can have something to talk about kind of thing. You can do that without all of that. So let me just make sure I call that out because maybe we don't need to hear O'Neill saying it. But let me say it.
I can't control what goes on in their household.
Oh, but you can control where Kai is. You make sure that he doesn't go back over there. And listen, I know that sounds like a knee-jerk reaction, but it's not.
Mom,
if Amber's
he's
yelling
gonna
at
go to his dad's
yes,
house.
but let Dad come here to pick him up. You don't have to show up there.
You don't think that's disrespectful? Your mom pays the bills over here.
Well,
so hold on. So are they saying, I'm not quite certain what Angelina is asking. Is Angelina saying that they should come to Shayla's house to pick up Kai, or is she saying that Anthony should come to Shayla's house to see Kai, but him have to go back over to his house empty-handed? That's the only confusion I have with this. If she's saying, all right, I'm trying to limit the things that the baby sees, I can agree with that. I'm gonna have to agree with Angelina on that because I said that this morning that them want to try to limit some of the things that they show in front of the kid. Now, of course, you also want a kid to know that life is not perfect, but you don't want to show too much toxicity in front of the kid. That is making sense. There has to be a balance as to what you're showing a child. That's all I'm saying.
Your son right now is the product of an affair. And do you really think that Amber is going to see him and be, yeah, you would think that.
She says that she loves him.
Yes.
And she doesn't mind him coming over.
Okay, I understand. But here's the thing. What you've got to do is be strategic in what you can do. Whatever you can control, you should. And that means you don't allow Kai to be verbally abused. He's sitting there taking all of that negativity in. And when he comes home and he's acting out of different things, you're going to be like, where is all this coming from?
He's watching. That's from the divorce?
Girl, can you imagine someone cursing your father out in front of you?
That is a fair point. I'm going to have to give Angela that point. That's fair. That is fair. I think I said that this morning, so maybe they have watched the skit. Maybe they've watched my review this morning. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm shoot and sometimes whatever it is. But that is a fair point. That is a fair point. To have someone be cursing out your father in front of you as a kid is not great. Or have a man cursing out, your mother in front of you is not a great thing for a kid to see. That is a very, very fair point. As to how them adjudicate it is something to be done, but that's a very fair point. Now, I would more say no arguing in front of Kai is what I would go for. But it's for him to stop completely seeing his father because there's arguments going on. There's arguments that happens with Shayla and Iman. If we really have to call a spade, let's be very, very clear. Shayla and Iman were having issues in front of Kai. Let's be very, very fair.
He knows that's his father. You've got to protect Kai the best that you know how. And that's how you're going to have to do it. You stop sending him over there. Invite Anthony over. Let him come pick him up from here because he can take him out anywhere. They want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. They want to go to the park, wherever they want to go. But you are the one who's steering the ship. You're the one giving Kai the safety that he deserves. And Anthony might not see it right now, but he's under duress. Remember? Comfort him, and you've got to be the voice of reason.
But the thing is that Shayla can't really be the voice of reason because now when I think of Amber's house or Anthony's house and I think of Shayla's house, both of them has had toxicity in both houses. So she can't really be the voice of reason. I understand the protecting of Kai, but the protecting of Kai has to be a relationship between Shayla and Anthony. Angelina is getting somewhere, but I don't think Angelina has all the information because Shayla hasn't verbalized, the things that she has done, basically, especially with Iman. So those things haven't been verbalized as yet. And those have to be verbalized. If you're going to do what she's talking about, but see, maybe, you know what? Never mind. I want this to happen. I'm thinking about it now, and I think that, you know what, maybe Anthony needs this pressure. I think Anthony needs this pressure because for him to be able to go for custody or to do any child custody, maybe this is what he needs. Maybe this would prompt him that he needs some level of custody. He needs something going on. He needs some paperwork. Maybe this will incite him to do that. So I'm going to back off of it and say, you know what, he needs this. While Angelina is saying some things that are truthful, there are pieces in there that is not so great. That is just the truth about it. But you know what? Give me your take on this. Is this right that Kai should stop going over to the Daltons because they're arguing a lot, and Kai should be protected from that? Give me your take. I'm interested to hear. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Talk to y'all soon.